Bullock here, editor at Total Telecom. Fibre deployment in the UK is booming right now, and the industry's seen a surge of investment in the last few years. But now with the global economy under strain, that dynamic is shifting. And today I'm delighted to be joined by Matthew Skipsey, CTO of Giganet, to chat about the state of the UK fibre market as we come to the end of 2022 and what to expect from 2023. Matthew, thanks for being with me today.
Yeah, thanks, Harry. It's a pleasure to be with you.
It's great to have you. So, yeah, what do you think of the state of the UK fibre market right now? Do you think we're on track to hit national rollout targets?
I think we're in a really encouraging place. You know, the UK fibre market, from going from a position of being very low in the world rankings and a lack of investment, you know, a duopoly environment, has really been kick-started in the last few years with a lot of outside investment coming into the industry, and so we've got into a fantastic place recently with around about 11% full fibre coverage at the beginning of 2020. I think the most recent figures show that we're now exceeding 40%, around 42% coverage, and just looking at kind of the committed funding over the last you know, of where we're at, you know, we now have, I believe, funding committed for 84 million premises in the country, which is obviously far in excess of how many properties there are in the UK, you know, but will give consumers a real choice of provider. So yeah, I think the investment that's come in, the ramp up that you're seeing from the larger providers like Openreach and CityFibre, who we both work with, but also ourselves with our own build, and many other altnets, we're now getting into a really competitive environment, delivering on that rollout.
And Giganet's had quite an interesting journey in the last couple of years. I think maybe you can tell us a little bit more about that transition and your progress over the past couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been with the business for over 10 years, and you know, we have pivoted from a kind of traditional B2B value-added reseller, you know, mainly voice focused, into enterprises and SMEs, into being an ISP. We first had that experience and opportunity with a wireless ISP operating down in Dorset and Wiltshire, and we really wanted to scale that. We wanted to take the full fibre story to more people. So we set about securing some investment, and got Fern, got some investment from Fern, advised by Octopus, last April 2021, and we're now on this really exciting path of rolling out fibre to 250,000 homes across the south of the country, as well as our you know, probably unique amongst the altnet space, this focus on also working with other providers like CityFibre and Openreach, and accessing their properties. So we're really following the CityFibre program, as well as our own build, which is really all about trying to take full fibre connectivity to the most amount of consumers and businesses across the whole breadth of the UK.
And earlier this year, you were at our Connected Britain event. You spoke on a panel about enabling smart places through infrastructure. And I say smart places because it's not always smart cities. It can be rural locations as well. What do you think are the kind of the biggest barriers to making smart locations in the UK?
Yeah, well, I think there's an impending, you know, milestone deadline, call it what you like, you know, with the PSTN switch off in 2025. A lot of the technology, the monitoring, the telemetry that is out there at the moment is that a lot of it is based on the PSTN network. So like, you know, telegraph, traffic lights and so forth. So, you know, the need to replace all of that with full fibre is increasingly important. But it's also about, you know, getting better, more reliable connectivity into those communities. And as you say, it used to be called smart cities. We're now talking about smart places, getting it into villages, towns, cities across the UK. You know, for us, you know, we're really talking a lot about connected homes, you know, so really trying to make the home better connected through, you know, pervasive Wi-Fi everywhere, enabling Internet of Things, smart sensors, smart devices. But clearly, you know, there's a lot to be done outside that with the technology and the connectivity that we'll roll that out.
And obviously there's an element of consumer education when it comes to things like fiber, because we always have these terms like super fast and full fiber, and so often studies show that the consumers don't really know what these broadband terms mean. Do you think that affects uptake? And if more education is needed, do you think is that the government's responsibility? Is that us as the telecoms industry's responsibility? Where do you think the onus lies there?
Yeah, I think we've all got a lot of anecdotal evidence, haven't we, to state that, consumers, friends, families are all very much confused with the jargon. A lot already believe they have fiber. A lot already believe that that they have effectively the best kind of type of connection they can. And frankly, our industry hasn't got the best of reputations with consumers. And probably a lot of it has to be done with all of this jargon, the complexity, people not necessarily saying it how it is. Our whole approach at Giganet is for fiber, honestly. We very much are about trying to get the message out that, that there is a technology out there that is effectively the best form, fit for purpose route to getting super fast, reliable or ultra fast, reliable internet into people's homes. So Giganet very much is taking a responsibility in getting that messaging out there to consumers and businesses. I believe the government and the regulator have a lot to be done, to ensure that everybody is not clouding consumers with too much jargon and confusion with these terms. But ultimately, a lot of what consumers are looking for is just that reliability, the value there, the speed. They don't care so much what it's called or how it's delivered. They really just want those things, and it's us as an industry really to market and deliver on that.
And as you say, reliability is so important, especially these days after the pandemic, when such a focus has been placed on connectivity in the home and in business. But in that sense, the economic climate in the UK is quite strained right now. The cost of living crisis is kind of it's just kicking off. We still don't know quite how severe that's going to be. Do you see that impacting the broadband sector more broadly? How do you see that relationship with customers changing?
Yeah, we're experiencing a complete storm of multiple factors here. With interest rates being hiked up, the war in Ukraine, the energy crisis, political challenges as well. So there's a lot of headwinds here. But the kind of reassuring thing for consumers is that, and especially if you look at what Ofcom have been tracking over the last decade, is that broadband and fixed connectivity, particularly broadband, has very much sort of stayed sort of flat or decreased in many cases in terms of the pricing. Whereas if you compare that to a lot of the other kind of utilities such as water, gas and electric, you have seen substantial increases in prices there. So some of those inflationary outcomes with those other services, just haven't been hitting broadband so much. From our perspective, they very much are. Our supply chain, when we're purchasing aspects for our core network or circuits, we very much are seeing those inflationary headwinds, and we're doing as much as we can to insulate our customers from those. And we've got commitments to our consumer customers in particular there. And the other aspect, I guess, as a general industry point, is there's a lot of competition now. Long are the days of when it was just a handful of operators. We do now have a broad range of people there.
And I guess in terms of looking forward to 2023, the cost of living crisis is going to be one major focus for the industry. But what do you think are the other hottest topics going to be for the fibre industry in general in 2023?
Yeah, so for us at Giganet, it's really about setting our core network. In my particular team, and the technology team, it's really about setting up our core network to handle that demand, that demand that is going to be coming onto these networks. We're already seeing a phenomenal amount of usage on our network. We only provide full fiber connectivity to consumers. And when we're seeing sort of 25 to 30% usage, bandwidth increase year on year, and that's compounding, the kind of dimensioning and the architecture that we're having to look at as a network is very much trying to track those trends and those forecasts. So for us, it's trying to be a step ahead of where the demand is at the moment, particularly when the supply chain is as challenged as it is at the moment with the long lead times. So really for us, for me and my team, it's really around about, tracking that usage trend. And then beyond that, it's also looking about into the home as well. So often, we're delivering the best connectivity to people's front door, but have they been able to kind of experience the full benefit of full fibre within the home, such that it's seamless, it works everywhere around the home without dropouts, and they get the performance that they need. So we're really looking into the connected home. It's really looking to provide a fantastic experience, almost to make it sort of seamless and go away, not have to worry, but also overlaying with other technologies such as security, the parental controls, the performance tracking, the proactively being aware of issues and us being on the case. So there's lots of things to keep us busy in the technology department.
Absolutely. It sounds like a lot of challenges, but a lot of opportunities as well. Matthew, thank you so much for speaking to me today. It's been great.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Harry.